pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. Thank you for every blessing that you grant to each one of us. We ask that you guide and lead us as we make our decisions. These things we ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Good morning, everybody. Since I wasn't here last week, is there any corrections or changes on the minutes?
I do have a couple of corrections.
Okay.
One on the back, and under F, and we had talked, Bob Martinez had come to the meeting. At that time, he said that the porch of his house actually crossed the property lines, and so it was determined that the carport being put on the other property would not be an issue because the porch crossed the property lines. That's what he had said. And so, but we did ask that Bob go out and look at it to verify that, but in which case, when the permit was granted, it was granted on that.
Your friends.
Yes. The other thing is that under B, when we had talked about the pool, and we were talking about the Texas law, and we had asked Janelle to call Mrs. Green and let her know that to hold off on any fencing or anything until we determined whether that law applied to individual homeowners as opposed to, because the way the law read.
It states in one section, single-family residential.
We
For
needed
all
that.
single-family residential.
Yeah, none of us had that page or that paragraph
Oh,
to refer to.
It's on about the second or third page.
No.
It
Okay.
refers to single-family residential and home.
Not in what I have. It might be in what you
Well, I
have.
don't have mine, I don't have
Yeah.
mine with me.
Single-family home or adjacent?
B, a single-family home
Not
or
part-
adjacent single-family homes that are not part of a condominium project.
Yeah.
That is a single-family residential, and that
Okay,
is where
when we
we
had
fall.
looked at that, the whole law in the first page, I thought it said something about, anyway, this is what came up at the meeting when we were discussing it, that's why it was corrected in the minutes, because we had determined that, but I think the first paragraph that was referring to that law said to multi-family, or to multi-unit, or
Yeah, it
property,
lists
or pools
apartments,
belonging to
townhouses.
property owners associations. So,
Okay, the term includes a condominium project. The term does not include a facility primarily renting homes to overnight guests or a single-family home or adjacent single-family home that are part of a condominium.
That's what it says, the term does not include.
Does not
That's a multi-unit rental complex, I think is what it's referring to.
It's referring to something different.
No, it's right above it, and A and B fall under it.
Yeah, but number 7 it says multi-unit rental complex means 2 or more dwelling units, et cetera. The term include a condominium project, the term does not include. I would assume multi-unit rental complex is the term that they're talking.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That does not include a single-family home or adjacent single-family homes that are not part of the condominium.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the way I read it anyway.
And Janelle is supposed to have the attorney check his stuff for us, so
What was, I think we were all gonna try and see if we could find a ruling.
Well, we
specifically.
weren't sure where we were looking for it, so Janelle was called on, telling the lady, hold off on your fences. So she kept
No,
going.
there's a section in here that deals with single family ownership and owner.
That's good.
All this talks about bolts and windows and latches.
Now, Katie, was this a correction you made, or you just?
Well, it
bringing
was
up
a-
for information?
It was a correction because we had asked Janelle to call her.
No,
That
it's
was the
not.
correction. It
Okay.
wasn't the ruling or
Okay.
No, it
anything,
was- we
because we
just-
were
we just
still,
said-
yeah, we were
Okay.
still
Just
gonna
the-
research that.
Tell Lou Green not to tear something down
Yeah,
until we know that
exactly.
what we've given her actually applies to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll
I'm
make
right
that correction
behind
then.
I told him I was right behind.
Okay, any further corrections or changes, or?
I'm sorry, if I can go back to F, Robert Martinez, he said that his porch crossed property lines, but because if you just, it was the, permit was granted based on which,
Well, that
That-
actually did cross the
That
property
it,
lines.
that it be determined that he actually is on two
Two lots.
Right, and that would
Okay.
validate the carport on that second piece of property.
And Bob was gonna go
Bob
out
was
and
gonna
check.
go out and see if he could find the pins and see if he could, in fact, verify that it
Because-
overlapped.
According to the plats and stuff, he is on two lots, but I don't know if, I mean, you never know if that's correct or not.
Without a survey or measurement?
got it. Okay, thank you.
Anything else, corrections or changes? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I read it on, I'll find it.
I move to approve the corrected.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, the minutes are approved with changes. First order of business, Barbara Dillon.
Don't give her anything.
What year was she at? Yeah, 27 block old lot 22. She is wanting to replace,
Let's put new windows in, huh?
yeah, new windows.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
The structure exists,
Township, I
according
don't-
to what she's saying here. She
Yeah,
takes
it's
the
just
screens
the-
out and putting windows in.
She's just replacing old windows with new ones.
On the sun porch.
I make a motion that we approve. I don't really think that has to come before us, but I'll still make a motion that we approve.
Well, I don't know, she's probably putting aluminum in instead of wood or whatever.
That's what she says, she's, standard two-part window aluminum frame, be painted to match front.
So that's a change of material, so. Do I have a second to that motion? Everybody got a second? Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Permit's granted. With a $20 fee attached. Do I need a motion to take up this next item? This is a submission from the Historical Society.
Well, I'll tell you what, whether we do or not, I'll make the motion that we take it up at this time. We're not exactly pressed for
Do
it.
I have a second to that?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, Russell has presented us with they want to install a historical marker on Con Road, and it is, to designate, why don't you tell us what it is, Russell, so,
Yeah, this is going to be one of the first of a designation marker for the Seminole homesteads that were located on Con Road and Lost Morris Creek, starting there at Scales Road and going all the way to the back of the property. This first one here is going to be for a Scout Carolina Warrior, which was Dub Warrior's grandfather. And the reason we started with it was because we had complete information from Delaware.
Is this marker gonna be like where his property was, or just for that whole area along there?
It's actually gonna be right on the side of the road there because the actual home site was across where the old riverbed run through there. So you have to actually wade through the brush to get back to the bluff where it was, but it's within 100 yards or less of 50 yards of where it was. But that's as close as you get to it practically, and we want to try to keep it where people could read it.
Right.
And the posts are gonna be 4x4 posts, 6 foot tall, 26-inch wide. And actually, the narrative that's gonna be on it, I brought it with me so that you can see what we're putting up. They're gonna be like this.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
And
nice.
they'll show what type of homesteads were living there, and then when we can, the individuals that live there. What I was trying to do. So, trying to get some designation down there because these descendants come here twice a year to Brackenville and Fort Clark, and there's no designation at all that their families was ever here.
Now, is that the actual deal
Yes,
insert
it
that's
is.
going in there?
Mhm.
Are those, were they good weatherproof and they won't?
They are, they got a 10-year warranty on them.
When are you gonna put it up?
Try to get it put up before Juneteenth, when they have the celebration here, so we can have the dedication for it then, so. Pretty short, within the next couple of weeks.
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion approved, second. All in favor, raise your right hand.
You said one of many?
Does this have to go?
There was actually 24 of them down there, but it's only gonna be practical probably to put 10 or 12 because the rest are so far.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
Back that-
it's one of several that are gonna be put up.
I know this is a dumb question, but you put on a green area on Fort property, we have the right to go ahead and say, go ahead and do it, this committee? Or does the board have to say it's okay?
Well, it's no different for me, the historical markers that have been put on.
I agree, I mean, but
Yeah, and they've been coming.
Well, even if they do require, the Historical Society could get a waiver, yeah, that goes to, like I've got for my sprinkler system. It's in the file and they could do that if it's required, but I,
it's not gonna be turned down, that's
Oh,
for
no,
sure,
no.
so
Well,
so it's just a question of making sure we
yeah.
dot i's, cross t's.
But in conjunction with that, is it in the road easement, and then that would be another question. I mean, how wide is the road, you know what I'm saying? Huh?
Oh, that's just a trail, basically, it's
Okay,
paved,
that's fine.
I mean, what?
I'm not-
6,
I'm
7
not-
foot wide?
I'm not complaining, it's just the, you know, you don't want somebody to say, well, how can you put it on the road? You know, I'm not against it, don't misunderstand me. It's just-
Okay,
It's correct.
all right, next, CCMR follow-up reports.
Hey, I have a table from last week, the 15th, Byron Baggett. I tried to call him, he doesn't have an answering machine. If anybody knows how to get in touch with Mr. Baggett, last week he was gonna replace downstairs windows, outside AC units for central air, and add privacy fence, 6-foot wood, so that, I just wanted to follow up and let you know that I did not get hold of him, and I left a voicemail for David Mann.
Okay.
So that's still out there. And I hadn't, I think I've brought back one or two that were tabled, but some of them, they get tabled for quite some time, and I feel like the way we've got it organized, I'd rather keep them kind of hot right here so that we can see if they're commencing without
Actually,
people or whatever.
actually on your agenda, anything that was tabled before should be right on the
Each time.
agenda again.
I would think so.
As the very first things you bring up.
Yeah, I've done that in the past. This time I just thought, hopefully I'd get a phone call back and I could, well, I should have added on the agenda either way, but have something actually to report. Okay, and moving on, Mr. Walker gave me a couple of submissions to bring up, just to let you all know. One is on Fort Park Road, the camp, which is owned by the Seminole Group. I don't know what you had meant, but that is in need of
The camp's the house.
the camp.
Yeah, it's right across from
The
theater.
camp, yep. But I'm not, you might have to let me know if anybody, do you know a name, or probably Janelle know how to get in touch with them?
Probably double or you would be down.
Didn't,
You're talking about the condition of the lawn and stuff?
Yes, just lawn maintenance.
did Ben, big old big guy, kinda like Bill Smith, but
Yeah,
he used to take care of it, or have something to do with it.
yeah, but I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah. That's the last time I know of who was. That's been several years ago.
Okay,
But I don't think it's been mowed all year.
No.
Spring.
No,
so I'll find out
They'll
who
probably
and
be
advise
here
the committee
Juneteenth.
sending a letter out to,
You probably call him. Is he in Del Rio?
It is in Del Rio.
In the meantime, who was keeping that up before? If they haven't, they don't come here, so who was keeping that lawn up and stuff?
No.
I think years ago Ben
I
did.
think she passed away.
Yeah, Isola passed away.
Isola passed away, and that was, she may have been the one that was paying for that.
He might be doing our own selling too.
And what they do when they come to the residence, they always come to the back. They don't use the front at all. They've probably never seen the front.
does he have a name for me that I can call? And I don't need to digitally document that we've sent a letter, go
Yeah.
ahead and process that.
It should be
Or do I
William
just
Warrior,
call?
and you should have that in your files.
Warrior, what was the first name?
William,
William Warrior.
Would it hurt to follow up with a letter just so you have something documented
Right.
in the file, but I would give him the courtesy of a phone call. He's
Right.
real nice. And I'm sure
He may not even be the guy, but he may know who is.
right.
Okay, and then, I pulled a couple of letters that are, where are they now? One is Joe Luna, however, he has a different car now that
Yes.
tags are expired, and that will need to be, actually, this time I should proceed by going ahead and letting security run the tags, and then not do a letter just yet, or go ahead and send a letter
Well-
and run the tags.
If it's the same guy who owned the other one, this is a reoccurring thing, I'd send him a letter immediately.
Absolutely.
Why wait around?
I heard him complain about
He's
that, so.
still in
needs to be
violation.
done.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Unit 15 has another road being cut. Right when you walk into Unit 15 or drive in to the right, there's just a blue pickup just cutting the corner, just to park, cutting corner, because there's nowhere else for it to park off the street. So he's just doing that, and I was just gonna ask the committee if that would be something, since I've noticed if somebody can drive around, or
Unit
I
one,
get it.
Unit
15,
15,
yeah.
lot one, the first lot
yeah,
on the
just
right.
the very first lot. Anyway, it's a nice pathway now.
Well,
I mean, he turns into 15.
He's going across a green area,
Yeah.
to park in
Pulling
front
off
of
the
his
street
place.
to where he can come out the other way.
Yeah, it's like a 20-foot
Yeah, we
roadway.
tell him that's green area's not meant to drive on.
you sent a letter to the guy across the street.
Yeah, we sent a letter on the other
Same
one.
thing.
Yeah, sent
Okay.
him.
Pick on
and I
one.
believe it got stopped.
Yeah.
The one on the left.
The one on the left, we got stopped, I think.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
And also, I understand that, on that Sims Street, in Unit 15, the trash cans that we're sitting out, I think only one person has.
Moved them. Okay.
One of them is like a 55-gallon drum.
That's the blue and
Yeah.
white barrel,
Yeah.
right? I believe that one's still on the I guess the 19th, I think that's one that's up in 30 days. It's been 30 days, wow, okay. The others I pulled were, and I thought that I'd made copies, but I didn't have them, but they were, well, Joe Luna, Hernandez, and Burleff, I believe. Joanne. There's a storage unit, I'm sorry, I can go pull this if you like for me to, but I'm gonna be sending out follow-up letters. Now, how about this, just to cover, since I have you all here. After 30 days, do I go ahead and turn that in to have fines if they're not corrected after I send Bob out? Or do I get Bob to report and say, no, this has not been completed, and go ahead and send out the next letter, which would be,
I'll give them 10 days to pay it.
okay. Do I call them?
I'll do it paper.
Paper trail,
Yeah.
paper trail.
Okay. Send
The
a
one on
letter.
Hernandez is the house over there on Fairway Circle, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one that hasn't, they haven't done anything.
They haven't
since
done
they moved
anything,
in.
they're growing corn in the front yard now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so to proceed on anyone who's had their 30 days, go ahead and send another letter giving them 10 days to pay. The fine is now, just to make them aware they've been issued a fine or fee.
Do we
Is it
send
30 days?
those, do we send those letters certified?
Not the first 30 days. I hadn't seen those
That
yet,
is
certified.
like $6 or something a piece.
$5.65.
But would the second letter now be certified?
I think if it's got a fee attached, that's my humble opinion.
Well, and add that to the fine.
Yeah.
You said,
Mailing fee.
one of the names was Berlin, was that a rancher?
I believe that was a renter. I need to go and grab it. If we have
What
time.
was the name?
Because I know that she would.
It was
use
under
it.
Berlef
Yeah.
letter.
BERLETA.
Probably
Addie?
Hattie, yeah, probably, or renter.
I would add the fee to the fine, plus mailing costs. and
Your
stuff.
attorneys do that, they
Yeah.
charge you for postage.
Yep.
It could be a processing fee, or you could.
Yeah, we just call it something, you know,
Yeah,
mailing fee, processing
processing
fee, or
fee.
Yeah.
something.
Tell you what.
Because the letter needs to go to the owner.
Sure.
I'll just say, on the camp, I'll get Mel Green to go over there and clean that place up, and I'm sure Mel Green will be happy to get
He's working across the street from me.
it. What?
He's working across the street from me this morning.
Then that is all I have.
How about my neighbors back there?
You hear that?
I do the front yard.
No, but you know who's supposed to do that?
No.
You were just talking about him just about 2 seconds ago.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, that guy over on Fairway Circle is the guy Dyke asked to go over and
Well, he's falling behind on the job.
take care of that. The one we were just talking about that has the house on Fairway Circle with the corn grove front.
Hernandez?
Hernandez, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about now. They check, find out why he's not.
Where do we stand on Mickey Hubert's property? That's closed.
That's.
Now, apparently,
what I need
there's
to know.
cars parked there.
I haven't. That's in 27, right, with the multiple
Right.
units? Yeah, I'm sorry, I've just joined then, I don't have anything on Mickey Hubert. I know you've referred to it quite a few other times, but I'd have to ask Janelle.
Well, I would, again, assume that if he sold it, that they had to come
Yeah,
up.
they had a tax statement done for the 17th of May, so it's closed now.
But I would imagine, I would think that they close it with,
Title company.
yeah, that everything was straightened out, the properties were bought that he overlapped on and stuff, I would, you know, otherwise how could you sell it?
Yeah,
Since
that's
there was a
pretty
lien
clear.
on it from us, I
It
guess.
seemed like I recalled somebody reporting to the committee that was all done and assessments were all paid.
Janelle came in
Does
and-
anybody else recall that?
Yeah, I think Janelle had said that.
Yeah, somebody.
That
I
was
have the
finally
minutes.
straightened out someplace.
If you'd like me to pull that, I have some information we can cover in minutes, but that was a while ago.
And I went by there yesterday and the fish pond is empty. I mean, there's no water in it, but it's sitting there. They didn't have water in it at the moment.
I was just curious about one over there across, next to Hoagie on Fort Clark Road, there was one that was mentioned about lawn maintenance and stuff. And somebody cleaned it, I was just curious if the Fort cleaned it or?
Yeah, I noticed it'd been taken
The
care of.
one that's right next door to Hogan?
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Ron,
Oh, he did it?
no, probably cleaned that himself, because
Okay.
it's run into his front.
Oh, I know it is, but one day I went by and said, geez, somebody cleaned this place up, you know. He'd like to get a hold of it, he tells me, but. Can't find it.
Okay, if Mickey's has all been, that's all cleared and done, taken care of, is there something we need to do after?
No, we
The
just need to
baseball.
get feedback, we need to have
No,
feedback on
what's the
everything
status?
that comes out of here, yeah.
March
absolutely.
27th, the last feedback was that his file was with the title company and the encroachment issue was being addressed there,
Yeah.
off property.
Yeah, that's all I heard, is that the title company was trying to take care of the whole thing.
Okay, I think what, like you said, need a follow-up,
Okay.
even in the minutes, follow-up saying that whatever.
See if Janelle knows what the final status of it
Just
was.
put it in the minutes or
Yeah.
something that was
They
done.
did that fish pond.
If there's no fish in it or no water in it, I don't know if we have.
Well, that doesn't mean there can't be water in it.
Oh, I know that, but I'm saying at the time.
Somebody puts in a pool and doesn't
And,
fill it
and
with
we,
water.
and
that's
we,
the same.
regardless of anything else, we have asked them to put a fence up around it,
Well, the
regardless of.
people, the people that bought it signed an agreement
Yeah.
for it that they would. They would either take it out, fill it in, or put a fence around.
That's why we need to continue to follow up and see what's,
Especially on this pool stuff,
Yeah.
'cause there's gonna be more and more of them, I think.
any other
I pulled the reports from last year. I found them in his sack underneath the desk back there, and I have all the way back just till January 2011. So I need to go back 6 months from now, and then I guess get with Bob and have him drive out and take a look at these to make sure permits are completed, and then we'll start generating letters to people to say this isn't complete. Is that right? The way to proceed? I believe it'll be 6 months back is November.
Because most people, I think, fail to come by and bring the card
Yeah,
back,
they
turn
don't.
it in, report that it's done.
They don't do it too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, end of November will be how far we'll go back, and
Well, to be fair though, I mean, I thought they'd never told me to turn it back in, and I just never did read it.
I think it states on the permit.
It says it on the
I
permit.
don't-
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody else does either.
Because
They're
you're-
permit to put it up
It
there.
does say
No,
when
there is.
complete,
I
please.
turned mine in.
But it says when complete, signed off, see,
So
that's
we-
the different
Well, I didn't
part.
read it.
Yes,
So-
it's- I'm just
so we
saying,
know it's
but I think it says it on the permit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's other like me.
I'm sure, yes.
I think it says it on the card too.
It does say it on the card, yes, sir.
Yeah, it took me quite a while to get mine signed off so I could turn it in.
Yes.
And we may need to bring that to their attention when they pick up the permits.
Right.
Yeah, because I was never
I
told,
think
and I
that
just
Shonda
didn't
does,
read
but
it.
I don't know, I'm not.
Might underline it, is that part there says when completed,
Well, on
signed,
that
and
dark
returned.
red though, you know, the underline doesn't really stand
Well,
out.
yeah,
It's
because
not
of the
like
color.
it's highlighted or anything, you know, so that's something that should be either that or in big bold letters somewhere.
Mm. This is right after their signature, so.
Right.
Who's supposed to sign off on those?
I
The
think,
building coordinator,
Yes.
Who is?
Bob Walker.
Oh, who is?
I don't think it says that, does it? Is it what, I think
I
when I
thought
had
the homeowner
mine,
had to do it.
I did.
no, when I had mine, I had to sign it.
Yes. I signed mine.
And it's supposed to be inspected by the board.
Yeah, after, I think after it's turned back in, somebody's supposed to go out there and make sure it was,
Right.
they say it's done, is it done? I mean, I guess
Well,
that's.
if it's Bob Walker, then the ball was dropped from the time I turned it in until he unless he was told he didn't do it, I don't know. But that would be after the office gets it back, then you're saying he should be notified to go check it out.
Did you give it a verification?
You know what's fantastic about this is that these are all agendas. They're not minutes, so these may or may not have been approved.
She, you ever talk to her?
Mhm.
Rachel?
No, might matter.
She's around,
Yeah, somewhere.
Well, she goes out there on this ranch right
Yeah.
now. Part of it.
and they also have a house here in town right beside our church, which they're at quite often. But I think she kept copies of all that stuff someplace, if you could ever find it. And I think she had a tickler system of some kind. It might have just been on a calendar, but she had a tickler system.
Another thing that we need to follow up on it, and I don't know if it's been 30 days, but on Mr. Flowers, on that shed, we need to follow up, make sure that he did go through the
Put it down.
of anchoring it, absolutely.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. I don't think he's painted it yet, but we do need to make sure that he did.
Well, he told me one day that
Anchor.
he had anchored, he was gonna move it out.
Yeah, well,
So I don't know. It's still there?
it's still there.
Maybe
Follow
anchored
up.
it
It's still there.
then. Anything on the WCCR regulations or anything? Okay, it's on the other. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
the property I was telling you about, just to the west of Unit 14, and between 14 and Fort Clark Road, the contractor is starting to run across there, make a new road, and I would appreciate it if somebody would go down there as soon as possible and talk to him and stop him, because they're just, parking there for the day. I can understand a trip in there to get their material in there and out, but they don't need to be going in and out lunchtime and break time and all that other, just tearing up that turf. Thank you.
I'm gonna look at it.
Which one is this? Where's
I
that?
think it's
They came in last week or week before last.
Unit
Uh,
14?
it's one of John Jones'.
Yeah, they had been trying for 29 years to,
Oh, we did, is
Oh.
that the guy we did just last week?
yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
last week.
That was,
That's the one
Yeah,
that they're doing the foundation on?
Yeah, they're
And why
coming
would
in,
they go across anything?
they're coming in from Fort Clark Road to
Coming
the
in.
back of it.
Well, they
Oh,
don't need
to
to
the
be.
back of
doing
it,
that.
I said, why
No,
would-
they don't need to be doing
They can
that.
bring materials in there once, as Joe said, and drop it off and park around front.
Dean-
the rest of
Dean
the day.
Bowman,
No?
Dean Bowman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go by and look at him, if John's there, I'll put the bug in his ear
Yeah, John.
to have his guys quit doing that.
Thank you.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn? We're adjourned, ladies and gentlemen.